Yo, what's up? Welcome in. Welcome back for another one here. After a couple weeks off? Was it really that long? My goodness. When is the last time I streamed? Let's check this out. Yeah, it's been a little while. I was sick. 4/18. So just 1 week off. Missed a week. Been dealing with some illness as well as like a very incredibly hectic work schedule and stuff like that. Last week was the Drake Relays, which is like one of our busiest weekends of the whole year. It was super crazy. Let's get this music going here. What are we going to try here? Try this. Trying a little classical today. Turn it down. Sorry, here. My fault. That's probably good. What was I saying? Totally lost my train of thought. Super busy week at work. I was planning on streaming Sunday of that week and then ended up not being able to do that because I wasn't feeling very well. But the good news is we're back in the saddle, feeling great. Work is awesome. We crushed our weekend, sold a ton of pizzas, did a good job. Very happy with all of that. Been having a good time. And we're ready to get it back into some Lego action here. So today we are going to be rocking the Leonardo Da Vinci's flying machine ornithopter. Not the only ornithopter we have on deck, but this is the one that we rolled. So we rolled our 17 here. The dice is still sitting there on my desk. Crazy. My cats have not disrupted it in 2 weeks, but there we go. We're ready to rock on this, and we have another set to add to the bottom of the list, but we will reveal that at the end of the video when we roll, because I think we're going to be able to get this done in one. I mean, I don't have like unlimited time today. I do have to work later, but like I have a feeling I'm just going to pop this. I don't think the resale value on a set this size and this niche is going to be meaningfully impacted by not having the box. I'm all for decluttering when you can. I mean, like I like a resale value boost, but in this instance, I don't think it's going to be worth it. There we go. We've got our fins in here. These cloth fins. Set those aside. Don't want to pull those out yet. So let's check out the contents here. Just 4 bags here for the old Da Vinci's flying machine. So I'm pretty confident we'll be able to get through all of this today. Pretty excited about this set. Wasn't necessarily planning on picking it up so soon, but I think this was to clear the threshold for a gift with purchase that I wanted or something like that. I threw it in. Sorry, I'm just getting it registered here. This was on the Lego website. There's my 20 insiders points. It just kind of worked out that way. And yeah, we're trying out this classical music today. Let's see here. All right, let's check it out here. Artist, artisan, aviation architect. Leonardo da Vinci, who lived from 1452 to 1519, is the undisputed master of Renaissance innovation. Adored by his contemporaries for his visionary talent, boundless curiosity, and flamboyant character, Da Vinci is still rightfully celebrated for his creative ingenuity. He devoted his life to exploring and pushing boundaries in art, human and animal anatomy, physics, and engineering, with unparalleled passion, determination, and craftsmanship. Painted masterpieces like the Mona Lisa, of which there is a Lego set also, and The Last Supper originally catapulted him to worldwide fame, but his lifelong fascination with human flight invokes equal awe. That is cool. I mean, the idea of like just being like a sick, famous painter, and then you're like, oh, I'm just gonna like invent planes too. Just like invent stuff. Pretty sweet. I mean, that is the definition of the Renaissance man, right? Someone who has mastered a bunch of different disciplines. Imitating the flight of birds, although reportedly Leonardo da Vinci's aeronautical inventions never came to life during his time, his ideas, designs, and studies provided valuable inspiration for the first working aircraft centuries later. The ornithopter is one of his most famous works, but they all rest on the same idea of a single person piloting a mechanical machine with wings. Using their own body strength, the pilot would pull and push on cranks and strings that would make the wings flap up and down. We got a little blurb from the designer here talking about how the concept evolved from having moving parts and stuff like that. Designed to look as if it's made from wood, linen, and rope. Very sweet. Skip reading. Well, actually, whatever. That's the very last thing. Well, I guess I'll just read that too. I read these other ones. Usually I don't read all this stuff, but this one's fairly brief. So, Antisa Brakanov, not sure if I'm butchering that name, probably am. Antika Brakanov, one of those maybe. This was where our concepting started. Let me try that again. This was where our concepting started, to make a machine with movable parts that are all linked together and activated when pulling on strings, or in this case, on one single string. It's a seemingly simple model, yet a great Lego engineering challenge. The model is designed to look as if it was made from wood, linen, and rope. It has a brick-built skeleton for the tail and wings, and textile wings with a printed pattern. Incorporating the textile string as a main part of the wing flapping mechanism was a great challenge. The mechanical parts of the model are left exposed to celebrate the functional parts, Leonardo's vision, and to let our own interpretation of the original design take flight. Very cool. Yeah, pretty excited about this. I think, it's not common that sets at this size and price point have like that crazy of design elements to them, and I think this one is going to actually rock with that pretty hard, despite being a relatively small set. So that is kind of my expectation here. Now, you can argue that it's not always the best idea to go into a build with expectations, really. Sometimes it's just, you should just, are best served just enjoying the look of the model and then arriving to your own conclusions as things go on. But I think this one is going to be pretty sweet, and in any case, I do like the look of this model too. So this is something where, like, even if it doesn't quite live up to my big ideals about what an exciting build it will be, I still think it's going to be a nice little display piece, and it's pretty cool thing. Hey KP, welcome in. Thank you for lurking. Yeah, I'm really excited about it too. Let's send a message in chat. Oh yeah. Oh. Caps lock. get that updated real quick. Yeah, we're not building botanicals for a change. We built a lot. That's funny. That means I didn't update it last time either, because last time we built a car, the Ford Mustang. So let's see here. Where? Oh, where? I don't remember where this says it now. Yeah. There we go. There we go. Oh, boat. There we go. All right. Cool. That gets our music going again. All right. But yeah, welcome in. Thank you. Yeah, I think this will be a good one. And then yeah, should be a good night at work here. And then I've just got to get through this weekend, and then I'm going on a short vacation, which is going to be awesome. I am thankful to have the opportunity to get out of town for a little bit. I'm going to be heading up to the Twin Cities to go to a show and just hang out in the Twin Cities for a little bit, which will be fun. Unfortunate that the atmosphere will be shot a little bit by the Minnesota Wild losing in the playoffs last night, getting eliminated. If you're a hockey fan like me, it's always tough to see your team go down, even when they've somewhat surpassed their expectations for the year in some ways. Yeah, I was hoping to head into the Twin Cities in a bit of a celebratory way for that, but it don't matter because it's still going to be a very fun experience. Oh, I see. Doing these half ones. Yeah, it's going to be cool. Going to go to a bunch of awesome restaurants. We're going to visit Surly, the brewery. Got a nice hotel lined up. All that good stuff. It's going to be a really chill time. And yeah, I'm looking forward to just getting out of town for a little bit. Although we did get to, we went up to Ames, Iowa, a couple nights ago to go see the Book of Mormon there, which I have never gotten to see before. Pretty funny, a little dated in some ways, certainly, but still quite funny. You can set aside having good taste for a little bit. It's quite well written, and the songs were good and stuff. So enjoyed that. All right, here we go. This little stand here is relatively complicated. Okay, so both of these pins want to go in here. Boop. And then we'll do it up on the other side here, it looks like. It says, one of Da Vinci's machines, known as Il Grande Nebbio, was inspired by and named after a bird from the... let's try this. Accipiter Accipitride family. I don't know. He's Italian, right? Like I don't I don't know if that's the naming convention itself is actually Italian. Not not particularly gifted at blasting off some taxonomical jargon. Science not being particularly my strong suit of study. More of a math and literature guy. Okay, let's see here. So this, what we're working on right now, is going to be the base of the base, I believe. Yeah, I think this music is working pretty well for the vibes here so far, I would say. Particularly this kind of like flamenco-y guitars, really nailing it, and really nailing the Leonardo Da Vinci vibe. Okay. Still some more work to be done. But yeah, it's my birthday in a couple of weeks here, so that's the impetus for the trip here. Should be pretty sweet. Looking forward to a nice relaxing one where we don't have too much strictly planned out or needing to get done. We're just going to kind of wing it and enjoy ourselves. All right, one more here to make this flush. Okay. My. Lots of studs available. Good Lord. All right, and here's our printed piece. Leonardo da Vinci's flying machine. Awesome that they went with a printed piece for this and not a sticker. Especially on such a relatively inexpensive set. Da Vinci famously wrote in his notebooks in backwards handwriting. It could only be read correctly when reflected in a mirror. That is interesting. I have not heard that before. I do not recall if I had in any case. A little peculiar. Secretive. I wonder if it was supposed to be a secrecy-based thing or if it was just like a brain exercise, you know what I mean? Trying to keep sharp by challenging yourself to do stuff like that is not something I would rule out for him. Okay, long one, short one. Okay. Panel it up here. Don't know where best to hide the injection marks here, but we'll try it like that. Can always flip that around quickly if it's going to be actually in a noticeable spot. Okay. Yep, okay, great. So that is the top. So this is going to slot over this, and then just come right down here. Very good. Okay. Balance this out on the other side of Reno here. And that'll pretty much cap off our first bag here. So yeah, moving pretty quickly as we anticipated it would, although the build itself might have a little bit of finickiness to it that requires a little bit more concentration. We'll see in due time here. Okay. Even this out here. Oops. Okay. Very good. Okay. Leonardo da Vinci is known to have produced more than 35,000 words and 500 sketches on flight and flying machines. Man, a man possessed. I mean, it's pretty cool. Flying is cool. I get it, you know. It's a lofty, ambitious goal. And no doubt his mind would be blown if he could see what we've accomplished in the 500 years since his death. I don't think that Da Vinci would have fired a bunch of air traffic controllers, though, if you know what I'm saying. But it's just speculation on my part. Alright, cap these off. Bingo. Bongo. And look at that. There is our stand. Pretty cool, unique little shape here. I like this like wedge at the back, kind of. Very cool. And we're ready to move on to the flying machine itself here. Ouchie. Our foot's asleep. Your foot's asleep. Alright, a little sip of coffee here and we'll get started on bag number 2 here. Open this up, set this aside for now. I reckon that'll probably not be needed again until the end. There you go. Yeah, we got some springs. We got all sorts of exciting action here. Alright. Some little guys on here. Okay. Very good. There we go. Okay. Get right into it here. Yeah, my new band took some quick and dirty promo photos yesterday. It's pretty fun. We're getting ready to start recording a short EP here soon, and then move on to setting up some shows and stuff. So I'm pretty excited about that. Share what we've been working on with these songs. They're pretty cool, I think, and they're very fun to play. And yeah, gonna be exciting to get to share that. But yeah, got some nice promo photos all ready to go. We're on Facebook and Instagram now, if you can find us. Not publicizing those pages just quite yet, but it is gonna be cool having all this stuff set up and ready. Okay, big blocks in here. There's probably not going to be too many of these. This is kind of a skeleton style build here, but a little bit of density in the middle of the build is probably a good thing for strength and stability purposes. I know we get a Da Vinci minifigure. I wonder if there'll be like, if this is pilot scale for a minifigure, like can he sit in this thing and flap it, or is it just like a I must flap it type situation? I wouldn't be like dismayed by that, but it'd be cool if it was minifigure scale. It's always fun when things are to scale. Okay. Setting up some sockets, setting up some ball joints. Here we go. Some Technic action. Alright. And it gives us a guide on the page, an actual real size thing here to get my positioning correct. I like that, because sometimes, you know, when you're trying to just like guess at like how far down the shaft you're supposed to go, it's not always trivially easy. You're just like, this maybe, and then you have to like make adjustments later on when there's a lot more pieces on and in the way and stuff like that. So certainly not mad about this. All right, we got our spring here. Pretty powerful spring. Little spacer. Then this on the other side. Very good. Oh, we just shifted it a little. Oh, we shifted it again. All right, let's go back here to our guy and see, it's not as easy to do when there's multiple pieces on there, but a little bit of gentle, firm pressure. Okay, now I think we're relatively even again. Good enough for now in any case. And similarly, pretty good. Oops. Get back on there, you stinker. Yeah, seeing all this Technic stuff reminds me that there's like, for the Dune Ornithopter, which we also have, there's like a list somewhere online of like, oh, here's all the alternate pieces you need to not have like a bunch of random like blue and red Technic nonsense like sticking out of your Ornithopter. I think I'd kind of like to try to pick that stuff up if possible. Might visit my local Lego hive here, and okay, that's back. That's it. And this, okay. So spring is compressed quite a bit. That's very strange. I mean, this hardly can move. All right. Well, so it says. We'll carry on here. Putting a lot of pressure on this. I mean, this is like stopping this from bending the bricks. I mean, I'm very curious to see where we're going with this, because that just feels like a lot of pressure for something that functionally can't really, I mean, it can move, but only a very minute amount, and for its resting position to have so much pressure on it is, shall we say, unusual for a Lego set, I would say. But hey, trust the process. Trust the process, Jeff. Okay. Boop. Boop. All right. Back here. Yeah, I like the color scheme for this. Gonna be pretty cool. Right, set that aside for a moment. Let's see what next. Some studs down on the back here. We got studs all over this little guy. Studs all over this little guy. This is an interesting element. Don't know if I've seen this one before. I've seen things that are like twice as wide and similar, but pretty interesting. Let's see. How's this go? Flush right there. Okay, so bottom to bottom. Flip this around. Okay. This is going to be the butt here. All right. Yep, everything sits flush. Very cool. Drop some studs to the outside here. Yeah. That. Flat bar over the top here. Huh. Yeah, because that leaves a stud for this guy. Very interesting. Okay. Still not too sure where we're headed with this spring action, but the rest of the body is shaping up nicely. We got lots of connection points for what's to come. Covering up a little bit of the old inner workings here. Some more panels going on the side here. Gotta gussy this thing up a little bit, even if it is just a skeleton, you know. Get it looking nice. Yeah. Both sides. Gotcha. Okay, and this is gonna pretty much take us up to the end of bag number 2 here. Flying through this here. Okay. Yes, we are. Injection marking. Okay. All right. I think that's bag number 2. So we're not quite airborne yet here. I'm going to just quickly refill my coffee mug here before we get into bag number 3, since it looks like we're Gucci on time here. So I will be back in just one moment. Quick pet on this kitten. This sleepy old kitten. Oh my golly. What a soft company. All right. Oh! Lift in silence. That was the end of the page of music. Sorry about that. That's not a very pleasant listening experience. All right. Bag number 3. Got some mini bags in here. Oh yeah. There's our rope. Our one rope that controls everything, so it says. Very intrigued by this build. What it's going to look like down the stretch here. Get everything opened up. I reckon we can both go these on the same tray. Might be a little crowded, but compared to some of those blue bricks builds we've done where it's just a mountain of stuff, I don't think it'll be too bad. And then there's quite a lot in here too, some real interesting elements in here. So let's see. Get it started here. Yeah, my little mini vacation next week should not interfere with the stream. I will be back in town and ready to rock before Friday, so shouldn't have another missed week on top of the one from last week, which will be nice. Leonardo's ornithopter, built for and test piloted by a friend of the artist from a low altitude, wasn't entirely successful. The machine crashed and Da Vinci's friend broke a leg. Oh man, that's a brave friend. Here, I drew this picture And the picture is of a thing that flies. What do you say we built it, and then you pop up into the sky on this bad boy, and we see how it goes? Pretty brave. Pretty brave, I'd say. All right, we're using some window frames here to help make the frame of this guy. Pretty interesting. Looks like shutter side towards the back, and then shutter side towards the back again. Oh yeah, you can see on top. Okay, and then we've got a couple little windows right here as well, covering up the top of this spring. There we go. Covering up the top of this spring assembly here. Couple of jumpers. Here and here. Okay. Little railing action in here. This might be a good display with the astronomer's lighthouse from Blue Bricks. Little crazy inventor vibe. Okay. All right. Hinge action. Double hinge. Double the hinge, double the fun. All right. Couple of long boys on here. Struts on top. More hinge. Even more hinge. Building up our tail here. Where's the other hinge? There we go. I think this is the last one. Bam, there we go. A little bit of give in this still. See if that gets locked up anyhow. Any such which way. All right, this is going to brace the end of the hinge and provide a little bit of, dare I say, greebling? I think it might be greebling up on the top of this strut here. Still has motility in this, and here we go. This goes right here, and this goes right here. Okay, so it's not the tail. Oh, nice. It lines up with these things, too. Very cool. So it's not like the tail exactly. It's like the bridge of the back, but that's cool. I mean, this thing, I guess, looking at the picture, doesn't really have like a tail proper. It's just got that fin back there. But in any case, very cool. Get bricked up here. Our 2x4 brick. Okay. All 6 of these bricks have this Technic T-bar hole in them. Okay. Like so. smoothing out here. And then, yeah, some greebling here. I think this is greebling. Ornamental studs. That's greebling. Here's my last one here. I'm blind. Yeah, I'm blind. There you are. Okay. All right. Leonardo da Vinci was persistent in his idea that the human body could produce enough energy to power a flying machine. You gotta admire the conviction, but the insistence on flapping, I mean a glide. We love a glide, you know. Just glide. Just glide. Both sides here, yep. Very trusting. This manual is like, you know that things are symmetrical on crafts. You don't need to have a page where we flip it over and put the same two pieces on. Because this is, what does this say? It say 18 and up? Yeah, it says 18 and up. You know, no, it's pretty uncommon to see like a set of this complexity of this size, as I've mentioned a couple of times, but I think it is meant to be yeah, adult focused here. Okay. Tidying up the outside a little bit here. And add these on here. It's looking pretty cool here. Yep, we got all that. Okay. Let's take a sip before we start on this. Next section here. All right. Stack these. These. Wow, asymmetrical. Asymmetrical. I did not have that on my bingo card. Oh, I see. Not really asymmetrical. This isn't a centered part of the build. It is a strut that goes on here. Okay, and we're gonna, yeah, 5 long. Yep, that's the one. Okay, so this pushes through all these T's that we lined up here earlier. Okay, doesn't push all the way through yet because we're going to get something else into this gap here. So let's get that going here. This is gonna be cool. And there's a ball joint on it. Oh man. We're getting into some complex territory here that I'm pretty excited about. Okay, so this now is going to go into here, right? Then this pushes through. Okay. So there's our flappy bits. Very sweet. And we'll just delay gratification here. We're going to mirror it on the other side before we see how all this works. I mean, it said one string, so it's possible that this needs to get built before, if it's truly is going to be one string, just like bopping through the whole thing. Oh, this is supposed to have a pen in it here. There we go. Yeah, it's possible that we need to have this all lined up before we get the cord dropped through or whatever. Okay, we line that up. We mirror this second part that goes into that gap. We got our ball joints. We got these. And it goes. Push through. Very cool. Okay. Get these in here. Up, it says, but of course, gravity does not really make that work, but we'll get there. Leonardo da Vinci's sketches show different flying machines operated by a pilot using various power mechanics, some powered by legs, some by legs as well as arms, and others even with rudders connected to the pilot's head. Ooh, that just sounds like a broken neck to me, but what do I know? I'm no esteemed Renaissance inventor myself. All right, let's see about this here. We've got these guys, very interesting pieces. I wonder if this was an original for the set, or if these have been used before, because it's mirrored even, you know, this is two elements. Rubber. Boop. Pin through here. That's to hold it on. Okay. Okay, this is our tail. This is our tail. So rubber, just to provide it a little bit of gooshiness in there. Holds it up at rest at the proper angle, and then it can also goosh down a little bit. Very cool. All right. What do we got next? Some gunmetal gray here. Wasn't expecting to see this color here. Multiple shades of gray. What are we building, a Star Wars ship now? This is some Star Wars action here. Okay. Boing. It's very tall, whatever we're building. Exhaust ports down here. Thought this was powered by human flappables. Flip this puppy. Okay. Metal strut. Leonardo da Vinci's studies on weight and structure of flying machines also mention force, which would later be defined by Newton as the law of gravity. Ah, so force is just falling. All right, so this connects to here. That's how we do it. Bingo bongo. Are we staying on there? Or is it just showing this is how it works? Well, we're setting it aside for now. Because first we're building whatever this is. Accept. Still one more bag, too. Okay. This is our only 2 of these, so this is not a symmetrical thing that we're doing either. Okay. Ink pot. This is like a rudder or something that's going to attach on sideways, maybe? Probably, because this has been flattened out. See what you're going for. It's symmetrical the long way. The stand is used to better display and pose the model, but also supports the flying machine as you build. It helps provide better access to all sides of the model. Okay, so cheers. We'll leave it on here. The instructions recommend that we do. So let's see. This goes up under here, through here. Like that? I don't know. Yeah, I guess like that. And then this goes through here. Come on, baby. Okay. Try to even it out a little. Very interesting. So there's like this balance thing here. I don't know. Not sure what that's for. But I imagine we will see. Okay. Locking it in on the sides here, okay? It doesn't feel particularly vulnerable to displacement, and I assume it must want to be somewhat even here. Looks pretty even. The side is maybe a little longer. Yeah, we'll adjust it if we need to, if it gets there. All right. String time. String. String. Kind of aiming like out, like that. These are gonna get capped by these little guys. Okay. Very good. And then this end. Hopefully we have those angles right. We might have to pop that apart to adjust if not. But it looks like should be roughly right. And let's see here. Okay, so we're going this guy on the T under this thing, and then these guys on these exposed things here. So I guess let's go this first. So this is going to be a steering type of thing. Pull down the rudder. Oh, this should be upside down. So flip this bad boy. Anti-studs. This is going to go flush. And then these go like this. But that's not right. So should the rope be twisted? Because the way it is, the way the rope naturally sits, it would sit with the dark brown side rear, but that's not what the instructions show. So maybe, I don't know, I'm just going to turn it here and we'll see. I mean, that looks pretty right. Now this bends that, okay. Feels like it's applying similar force to the two sides and nothing should be getting damaged or anything like that. Very interesting. Okay, and then we're just gonna pop a cap on this guy here. Pop a cap. Codex on the Flight of the Birds, published in 1505, contains Leonardo da Vinci's studies and investigations on flying. Okay. All right. This is a little bigger than I imagined it being. Pretty cool. All right, so is that it for our bag here? Yep. So we got an extra string at least. That's good. Extra string is nice in case one of the other ones breaks or tweaks or something. All right, final bag here. Nothing left in the big bag here. No errant pieces left behind. Get these guys opened up here and we will get into checking out the home stretch here. This thing's kind of big. Maybe we'll get one more train on there. Why not? Why not, after all? The whole point is they're easy to move. Okay. Let's see. Doom doo 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 doo. There's another weird piece I've never seen before. Look at those little tiny teeth in there. I think it's oriented like this. Okay. We're going each side here. No idea what we're doing here, but we're in it. Okay. So, mirrored. Very good. That looks a little uneven. Ow. Yeah. Cross that bridge when we come to it, I guess. This is something we're going to build twice. Still adding ball joints and stuff. I mean, don't want to get ahead of myself here, but this is looking pretty sweet. This is looking like it's going to be a pretty complex and interesting model at the end here. Ball joints. All right, let's just real quick bang out our other one here before we see how this works. All right, pop. So these go on to these. That might help us. Okay, and then up to here, and this is elevated. Okay, so now we have this elevated, connected by this. So this little, I mean, that spring, huh? I don't know. Spring feels so strong. This helped us cover up if there was a little bit of inconsistency in the sizing there. It's no longer noticeable because it's buried in interior of that piece right there. Pretty cool. Okay. So there's our ball joints in place. I see we are definitely connecting up a lot of stuff. So I know you must be thinking, hey, he's really not a trusting person. It's not that I'm not trusting, it's just that I find the whole thing so incredible, you know? That's all. Okay, there's our double C-clip action there. For what purpose? Who can say? Like, what is this? Okay. Okay. Drop this ball joint pin down into these C-clips here. All the way down, basically. Okay. pretty up the outside of our thing here with some other wood colors. Birch on the inside. Well, this red wood is a really pretty color. Okay. We have enough to mirror this, so I assume we're going to... Okay, these ones, they're facing opposite directions. Bonk. Like that. Nope. Oh. Crap. Pulled out my ball joint. Get out of here. Wasn't paying close enough attention to the orientation. Okay, so this up. Dots to the side. So, like that. Then we flip, raise, hinge, like so. Another one of these, stud facing up, stud facing up. Like so. Now, another one of these. Another hinge. Other side of hinge. T-bar. Bonk. Okay. Like so. Getting our wings here. Okay. This is going on this side. Okay. These guys oriented up. We're going... What does this connect to? I see. This ball down here. And what does this sit under? Behind. Behind? I'm confused. I see. Behind this. Okay. So, connect to the lower ball joint. Down there. Then this comes up. This guy comes up. And then all through this, the wing, and this, pushing a bar. Bar through this T joint and out. Come on. Out the other side of that. Oh my gosh. Not easy. Okay. But there we go. Wing connected. Okay. I'm not going to try to put too much pressure on anything yet, because I don't know if it's unbalanced, if I'm going to, like, damage something. Okay, wow. This is really complicated. Really, I mean, you know, I feel comfortable saying it at this point. Really cool. Like, highly recommend. Okay, let's mirror this up, get that other wing on there, and let's take to the skies. I'm ready. I was scared before. I was talking like a coward. I was like, I wouldn't go up in my friend's flying machine if he asked me to, but now I see the vision. And I'm ready. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to soar. A broken leg? What a small price to pay to be a part of history, you know? I'm ready. Yeah. Yeah. No. This part, yeah. Where those up. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, almost forgot. Gotta get our ball joint down in there. This ball joint creation with these double C clips holding it is really, really cool. Like, there's a lot of things about this that are interesting, but that is just a little peccadillo that really sings to me. Okay. And then this time, watching our orientation. There we go. And a flip, and a drop, and a connect. Stud up. And boop. 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 Chomp. Chomp. Okay. All right, here we go. We're ready to... Oops. Let's try to show this connection side a little better, since last time I think it was a little rough. Okay, so we've got our wing. We are dropping this right here down onto this ball joint. Easy enough. Click. Now this sits in between these two arms, right? So now we just need to connect all of this up, which we are going to do by going T-pin through hole, T-bars, hole. Just getting it started here. Okay. Lift and through. Okay. There we go. There's the shape of it. But we're not done yet. We've still got, I see a long cable. We've got more what's the word I'm looking for? Spokes? Is that what my brain was trying to come up with? Spokes for the wings? Something like that. All right, connect. And oh, I see. There's studs on both sides of these. I'm an idiot. So it might be a new piece for the set still, but it is not. They are mirrored. Okay. I was like 2x. Okay. And now these are going to go on, I see, the back of this pin that we just pushed through. Very well. And then fold. Look at that. Look at that wing shape. You see it. You see it. You understand it. It just makes sense. Wow. This is sick. This is sick. Incredible. Okay. But we're not done yet. some sort of connecting bar here. But we're close. I mean, we are almost out of elements here, so close to the truth being revealed. Okay. Wheels. Why? What could that mean? What could they be for? Leonardo da Vinci was inspired and fascinated by winged animals while studying possibilities of human mechanical flight, and he hoped to replicate these animals' movements with his inventions. Yeah, this one's a bat, dude. You can freaking tell. Okay, so right on the front here goes this, like so. Okay, long string time. It's in some tape here. Free it from its tapey prison. Okay. Bloop, 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 bloop. Yes. String is long. Got it. Similar to the end caps of our other string. Okay. Now, I'm just going to give you a quick preview of what we're looking at here. So, pop this off the stand here, it looks like, for this part. We flip. We go, let's attach one side and then work our way around. So, red side out, string up over this, through these teeth thing, around the rudder guy, through this, back through this, and connect. Okay. Now, is that going to hold, or do we attach? Yeah. An ink pot into here to secure that string into place. Very good. Okay. Pop this back onto our stand, and we will get our wings on here. Oops. We'll drop our wings on the floor. We'll have a sip of coffee. We'll try again. Okay. Wing. Bing. Okay, I see. Hook onto these guys first. And then boing, boing, boing. Now, this says put them all on. And then it's going to say put the ink pots on. Yes, okay, so I'm going to do that first, because I want this thing secure. Ink pot. Ink pot. incredible. This might be the best under $100 build that I've ever seen. I mean, this is sick. And I haven't even seen the mechanism itself in action yet. Unless it just like fully doesn't work or like falls apart when I try to make it flap or something. I mean, barring something like that, I mean, this is just so cool. It looks cool. It's an interesting build. It's really satisfying seeing it all come together down the stretch like this. There is our wings. Wings on there. This thing is a lot bigger than I thought it would be, too. Like, a lot bigger. Alright, so wings on, ink pots on. Yes, yes, yes. Very good. Now we build our minifigure right at the very end because we're adults. We don't need to build our minifigure first, like kids. Beard. Awesome hair. Quill. Flame piece made out of white. This is Quill. And holding this awesome printed piece showing the comparisons between the ornithopter's wing and a bird's wing. He can hold on to that. Very sick. He's got a spot to stand down here on the base, if you're so inclined. The model was designed so that the trigger can be activated in at least 3 different ways: on the stand, while held in one hand, and while held with 2 hands, one on the trigger, the other one holding the model. Okay, so this like rudder thing is a trigger. So let's see here. What? Okay. That's insane. That is actually so sick. Flap, flap, flap. So, okay, on the stand, that's easy enough. One hand. This is 2 hands. Flap, flap, flap. Incredible. I'm running over all my cables. Okay. One-handed. How would I do it? One-handed. Kind of. I don't know how you would do this one-handed exactly, but kind of. Okay, well, I don't know about one-handed, but that is a really sick. One of the design challenges was to figure out where to place the trigger for the flapping function so the builder's hands don't interfere with any parts of the mechanism or string. So it advises holding it by this little gunmetal pallet down here, and you can flap to your heart's content. Wow. I mean, is really incredible. Like, I mean, that is genuinely like I'm legitimately blown away by this. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Final Judgment's insane, incredible value. Only took like an hour and a half to build, but like, I mean, really awesome design. Super cool. Yeah, it looks great. Functionality is there. It's a nice size display piece. I mean, it's pretty big, you know. I mean, this is like as big as my head, you know. color palette, awesome. Wing, sweet. Printed pieces, awesome. Da Vinci minifigure. I mean, this is like, if they made a lot more sets like this, that would be right up my alley. Like, this sort of thing is gonna be on my list to buy every time. Really cool. Highly recommend. Highly recommend here. Yeah. Sick. And with that, I will bid you adieu. We're going to go ahead and wrap. Well, I guess let's see here. Before we go, I did say that I would add to the bottom of the list here. So the number in the number 19 slot is going to be the pretty pink flower bouquet. Run out of words, or run out of room there. Yep, that's right. It's another botanical set. Can't stay away from them. Not as interesting a builds as something like this, but I do really like them as display pieces. But that is just one thing we've got here. Okay, so 7, 16, 17, and 20 are all rerolls, but everything else has its spot here. So let's see here. Let's see what the dice holds for us. That is a 19. That's the pretty pink flower bouquet. I am never building this Nissan Skyline, I swear to God. That is too funny. Okay, well, yeah, join us next Friday for the pretty pink flower bouquet. We are going to rip it and rock it, and we will check out the action on that. Maybe shop for some vases while I'm thrifting while I'm in the Twin Cities, so we have somewhere to put all these bouquets that we got here. Bye!